Hello, hello, my lovely Leos, and welcome to Soulsec Tarot. My name is Christina, and I'm going to be doing your general read for the upcoming week of January. I hope that y'all are doing well. Let's see what we have here. The Judge, the Vessel, Gnosis, the Village? That damn card. The Storm. I don't know. Okay, let's see. The Nectar. Okay. I feel like you guys are coming out of the storm. I feel like this is just broad, like in a broad sense, the idea that you've broken out of a cycle, and away from, I almost want to say, a mentality of being out of place. The idea of the village is that you can never be any bigger than they want you to be. Like you're limited in who you're capable of being, and that created a cycle in your life that was really difficult for you to break, unless you were able to break away from the village. And that's definitely been a huge theme over the past year for Leos, is just like breaking away from things, breaking away from people, and just kind of like fighting off all of the village, like the mentalities that held you captive. It's kind of that idea of like people putting a stigma on you. There's a stigma of a storyline, I want to say, that created a very limited story for you. Like your character became very one-dimensional and encasing you in this mask that, prevented you from really being who you actually are. And you've been breaking out of that cycle, and here you have this storm. And I kind of want to say it's 10, 10, 111. That it's almost like the clearing after the storm, because you have the judge here as well. And I kind of feel like you're saying in context to the village. I mean, like however that resonates for you, family, coworkers, friends, like hometown, whatever, but it's that idea that you were being unfairly judged, and it was locking you in this cycle of, just, I want to say of confusion, and just feeling like you didn't know which way was up, because none of it resonated. It's like having somebody tell a story that doesn't resonate with you, and being trapped in that story, and you're like, this is not my story, this is not me, this is not right, and breaking out of it. But in breaking out of it, also feeling very confused, because you've lived in one story for so long, and it's almost like now you have to like rewrite your story, and write it in a way that like actually makes sense to you. And so I feel like that's kind of like what this, like this clearing of the storm, this clearing of a cycle of just poor judgment and bad storylines, and taking what's left of you after the storm. I think of the, like, what is it, like the Japanese, it's not a story, but it's just that, like, I don't know, but anyways, the idea, like if a plate breaks or something breaks, you know, they put it back together with gold, and then it's, you know, more beautiful and unique than it was before. And I feel like this, you know, this is like a build it or break it card, and I feel like you're building yourself back up and you're moving in a direction that you want to move in, you know, away from the village and the shitty storylines. You know, it's like, hello, could we be any more sitcom-tastic? No thank you. But the nectar, you know, like it's wanting to move toward that sweetness, you know, away from all of the things that don't resonate with you. The Five of Swords. Man, this is like doom and gloom, yo. I mean, it's feeling under attack. And I wonder, Leo, if maybe you won't be like coming into Four of Cups. Like, I wonder if you're not going to be having your week start out a little rough, you know, just kind of like maybe you're feeling under attack by this like old storyline of you, I want to say, you know. And it's, I mean, the Four of Cups is sad. It's like his heart spilled all over the floor. And he just doesn't even care. I mean, not that he doesn't care, it's like he just doesn't have the energy to care. Like, it's just, there it is on the floor. Okay. But, I mean, you've got the Nine of Swords, I mean the Six of Swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. But I feel like it's just kind of this idea that you're like really and truly just like moving away from it all entirely. You know, quite literally, possibly. You know, like it's just this idea that like you're leaving all of this negativity behind, you know, and you're setting out toward a new beginning. You know, the Queen of Wands is kind of that, like, that calling out, like, okay, it's time to go now. And I feel like that's what you're doing, you know, you're just kind of like, you're leaving it all behind. You're setting out on your way to, you know, a new beginning, to something that is sweet, to something that is enticing and life-giving, even. Possibly a new job. I mean, Pentacles, you know. So, I mean, it could be a very, very busy week for y'all. But it seems like it's, I mean, I don't know if this is like an argument that you're getting into. I mean, because I really just feel like it's just this general vibe of like where life has been and where it's going. You know, it's just kind of this like, no more, you know, walking away from all of the confusion and feeling under attack and feeling like people are putting a storyline on you that you're like, but yeah, no, clearly you are not familiar with, you know, with who I am, but in a real way for a long time. You know, I mean, I kind of get the feeling that this is just like a massive transition for you. Moving away, I mean, moving away from all of the things that were, it's kind of like this idea of like breaking free of the storyline, is what I want to say. Breaking free of the narrative that was controlling and dominating you and your decisions and your affecting your like your mental health and your well-being, because you got lost in this storyline, and it's like you're breaking out of it and you're breaking free and you're moving toward being I want to say being successful, being the creator of your own story. Let's see what we get from the hidden realm. Ace of Pentacles again. I mean, the Ace of Pentacles in the Hidden Realm deck is the idea of small beginnings and not being discouraged by, by the way something begins. And you also had the Page of Pentacles. So, I mean, it seems like, there, and the the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords in this deck is, just kind of the idea of of making it out into the other side, like coming out, and it's almost like that idea of like breathing in fresh air for the first time in, like you've been, I don't know, like traveling through the caverns, and then you make it out and you're like, like I can breathe again and I can see, the light at the end of the tunnel. And you're setting off toward this new beginning that I think you're finally going to be starting to set some roots. Leos, I think that we've just been feeling very, I don't want to say like discarded, but like sort of like tumbleweedish, like there's nowhere for me to put any roots down. And I feel like a lot of that has just been like this progression of the storyline, like you break out of a storyline, but like that, it still follows you, that energy and those, and, like the opinions of all of the people who've told you all of the things over the years, they like, it's like they're in your head, until you can really clear out that energy, until you can really like break free from it all. You can't, you weren't able to really root yourself into anything because it was all still tainted with, it's kind of like the idea of like soil that's charred and dead, like it doesn't bring life, it's poisonous, and you're moving in a direction that is, a new beginning for you, that you're actually going to be able to like root yourself in, and I think really start to blossom, is what I want to say, into who you are and the story that you're wanting to create. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Four of Pentacles and the World, and again, it's just kind of like this major ending, this like transformation. I get the feeling of just like utter transformation, of completely bringing an end to all of the negative narratives and pulling out, like the truth of who you are, and rooting yourself in a new beginning. And then you have the Six of Pentacles and the Magician, and it's that idea of like it's time for you to really start creating magic. It's time for you to really start testing your skills, seeing what you can create, now that you're free of the old narrative, now that you have brought an end to it. It's like that cycle. It's like that final, exiting the dark, which is fantastic. I love it. I hope this resonates, and that, you know, that all of my Leos are able to really start moving forward in a positive way in life, and able to really kind of let go of the things that were holding us back, because it's time. It's time to start creating something that really, represents us, and take root in who we are. It feels like a very just like self discovery, transitional type of week. With possible, it could be possible that you guys are going on a trip, or that you're moving entirely. But whatever it is, it's something drastically new that completely breaks you away from the old narrative. Yay! Okay, I hope this resonates, and y'all have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon.